There we go.
Amazing. That's simple shit, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you want to give me a tour around and just show me what you're doing there?
Absolutely, Chris. Follow me. People might actually say that this is where I work, but I call it my playground. So, 26-inch over under Watkin surfacer, one of the biggest in Australia.
What does that do?
This one here, if you get a piece of timber with a twist in it, you put it over the top of this and it takes the twist out. Underneath it's a thicknesser. The first application when you're making fine furniture, guitars or whatever, is the timber has to be flat, not twisted. Has to be flat. And this takes the wind or twist out of timber. Then under the thicknesser, and then it's parallel top and bottom. And then I've got a, it's a bit messy here, lathe, grinding system specifically for the lathe, another grinder, a 38.5-inch Wolfenden bandsaw, one of the best in the world, beautiful piece of machinery. Over here underneath all this stuff is an Otto Martin from Germany, sliding table saw, one of the most accurate sawing systems in the world. Also probably about 50 years old vintage. They made really good stuff then. We've got a 120-tooth multi-head spiral head cutter. So when you're thicknessing timber and it's got high fiddleback or beautiful grain, normal thicknesses tear the grain out so you get fracture in it. This thing here with 120 teeth in a spiral gives you practically zero tear out. And then we've got a 930 wide double drum belt sander, which makes hard work into easy work for finishing, sanding down to 150. Dust extractors everywhere, blenishing sander. We've got a gaggle or a flock of Pikin Stiks there on the go. Juzzy Smith is making them famous worldwide. Beautiful instruments. Crocodile.
What are you going to do with those?
Little kids love these.
Yeah.
They normally look like this with a wheel on the bottom, and they run down and play.
Cool wooden rocking horses, huh?
So that's a unicorn, and as well as unicorns, I do the crocodile.
Cool,
Crocodile,
Stan.
that's a Polish crocodile.
Yeah, where do you just sell those in the shop
Yeah,
here?
sell them in the shop. Kids love them. And I got a rapid, not a rapid, a Barker, that's about 50-year-old, tungsten tip resaw bandsaw.
Gee.
Beautiful bit of gear. One of the finest sawing systems in the world, that, with those tungsten carbide teeth.
Wow.
And a fence micrometer system that's just unbelievably accurate.
And do you use these machines on a daily basis?
Absolutely. Making musical instruments.
Yeah.
Making musical instruments might seem simple, but it's like doing furniture or something, but you've got a fourth dimension. You've got a three-dimensional object, but the fourth dimension, it's maybe even 5 dimensions. It's one of the things is sound, and the other thing too, this is our beautiful Northern Rivers river oak, Alacasuarina cunninghamiani. And this is a backsawn figure, and on the side the medullary raised. So this has got incredible strength. It's really hard, so when you're fingering chords, you won't groove the timber with the strings. And this is a limited edition Arnott's biscuit tin.
Oh, cool.
And a nice chrome knob on there. And this has got a piezo pickup inboard. And so I normally make cigar box guitars in here, hubcap guitars, Pikin Stiks, and it's a little bit messy. I've been on holidays for a little bit, and yeah, this is me operating table for creating. A lot of fun, and the beauty is too, when you get a guitar or an instrument and you start playing it, you disappear into another world. So like a meditation. Just while you've got that camera there, I'll just show you something interesting. Australian timbers. Look at the colour in that.
Whoa, isn't that beautiful? What is that?
Purple Gidgee.
Purple Gidgee, it's really purple.
1,450 kilograms per cubic metre, which means if you put it in water, it'll go straight to Davy Jones's locker. This is really heavy. This is one of the hardest timbers in the world.
Can I feel the weight of that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
one of the hardest, heaviest timbers in the world.
It's almost like steel.
It is. Well, yeah, it's very heavy. It is. It's in the whole world. This is rated as either #1 or #2 heaviest, densest timber in the world. So this makes exquisite bridges, nuts, and selected components for guitars, musical instruments.
What do you say it's called?
Pink Gidgee.
Where does it come from?
Oh, it's an arid timber country, so it goes out western country before the desert.
Yeah.
And very slow growing timber. And when you look at the end grain, you almost can't even distinguish the growth rings.
So it's quite a small tree by the look of it.
Yes. Yeah, quite a small tree. We are so blessed in Australia with species and variety, and there's myself and there's hundreds of other people around Australia that are experimenting with really special, rare Australian timbers for guitar making, musical instrument making, bagpipes, flutes and stuff. We've got some of the most amazing timber in Australia.
Yeah, and what's your favourite instrument to be making? I know you make
three-string guitar, I think.
Is it?
Three-string guitar, man. Three-string guitar sounds a bit funny, and most musicians, guitarists, if you say, oh, look, I'm really excited about this three-string guitar, they look at you funny, you know, because they do all their licks from... Anyway, it's a bit different, but yeah, three-string guitar. I don't have one here to show you now, because all of them are in the shops and people keep buying them and I can't keep up at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
But
what's so cool about a three-string guitar? How's it?
It's got a sort of a primitive sound, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
It's when the African in America, when the Negroes were brought, the African people were brought into slavery, and they were working in tobacco plantations, cotton fields. They had rhythm, they had music inside themselves. They didn't have any money to go to a guitar shop. There wasn't any guitar shops as such where they were. They used to make instruments out of junk. And one of the instruments they discovered they could make fairly easily was using a cigar box, was making, just putting a crude neck on there, then putting 1 or 2 or 3 strings on there and playing with a slide. Well, the 3-string, tuned 151 or DAD, it's an open tuning thing. When you start playing that, it's just got this amazing down-home delta sort of bluesy, rootsy feel. It doesn't matter how you play it, it sort of just automatically has got this amazing sort of character. And so it's really special. And when you play slide, and I love blues, country blues, so to me it's just wonderful.
Cool.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'd like to come and play one.
Yeah, next time I finish one.
Okay, cool.
So anyway, that's me playground. I've got all the toys, I've got lots of hand tools and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So basically what you've just seen here is primary processing tools, and after that I use hand tools and fine draw knives and spoke shaves and my pocket knife and scrape and smile. I like smiling too while I'm working.
You do, Stan, you're an amazing guy.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I want to go. Let's go and have a look at the shop, because I love that shop. Yep. Yeah, that's the back door to the shop. And that's the front door to the shop. And the street's over there. And that is the landscape place over there. So if you park just before you get to the landscape place, you know you're here.
Welcome. So this is the other end of the operation. When I get time, I make stuff. I like making kids' toys and jewellery boxes and stuff. And also a couple of retired friends, I give them timber and they make a few things for me as well. So everything in here is from ethically salvaged timber, trees that were pushed over, ready to burn in road manufacture, you know, making roads, development for housing estates, industrial estates. If you're lucky enough, you find where trees have been pushed over, they're going to be burnt. We get them, we mill them up ourselves.
Wow, and everything in here, all the timber stuff you've made, and those
yeah, a lot of the stuff. Yeah, the mask I didn't make, but this ukulele here, ukuleles are big at the moment. This one here is made out of a shipping pallet, and this is probably as rough as you'll get. The machine heads are just dollar machine heads banged in with a galvanised clout. You can see the fine workmanship, there is none, and that's where the nails held the pallet together, and this is just cheap fishing line, but...
Cool, this is in tune. Off the shelf.
And that's got toothpicks for the frets.
Yeah.
And you can see there's glue there. Like I said, there's not the workmanship doesn't seem existent, but the thing is, it makes music.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It makes music, and you can make it for nothing, practically nothing.
Oh, you need to do a little workshop, a video workshop on how people can make that.
Yeah. So that's made out of a shipping pallet.
Yeah.
Now this one here, this has got like a resonator cone. And the resonator cone is a dolmades, the Greek vine leaves. This is a dolmades lid that's just been hammered.
Yeah.
And this has got quite a... like an old gramophone set.
Cool.
Just slap together stuff.
Yep. And that other one, that more classical
That one was
shape?
this one here, that was a gift from Azo Bell, the famous ukulele player Azo Bell.
Oh, that looks beautiful.
On the wall behind you there is old hubcaps. And I absolutely love making guitars, man, out of hubcaps.
Oh.
And there's Mercuries, there's Chevrolets, there's Thunderbirds. A guy in Tasmania brought me a couple of Thunderbird hubcaps. I got Fords, Mercedes, BMW, Jaguars. And in the top of the guitar, just where the dolmades lid was here, I actually insert car hubcaps.
So people could come here and say, can you make me a guitar with that?
I'd like a Dodge or a Plymouth hubcap guitar, and I'll say, yes sir, no problem.
Ooh, cool.
So anyway, now look, I'll just bring you to attention, this is a magic fridge. Inside the fridge, Nolene, my wife, makes the most exquisite chili sauces and relishes. And you can see in there chili relish, all spelt properly. Look, very hot, although I don't believe it is. So we even do stuff as weird as having chili relish here and chili products.
Oh, cool.
A friend of mine the other day knew I'm called Hubcap Stan, so he gave me some Hubcap chairs. So
Holden, are they?
Holden Hubcaps, men, 72 Holden, I think, HQ.
Ah.
So yeah, and there's one instrument here that's fairly unique. The others I've got at home because I'm on holidays.
Is that from bamboo?
This is a bamboo. This is very, very primitive.
Gee.
It was done with a Swedish carving axe. I think it took me about an hour and a quarter to make this at a show in front of people.
You made that? Gee.
Yeah, and it's a slide guitar. And the only thing I did was, before I went to do the show, I drilled a hole in there to just give it the appearance of a guitar. And the rest of it I did on site, just with a hacksaw blade and a pocket knife and... oh yeah, that's in tune. And I'll give you a demo of it.
Oh, yeah. Woohoo!
There you go, the only one in the world, man.
Woohoo!
A mate of mine, Barney, in Jamaica, he used this for his album. Sometimes makes jewellery. She gets beautiful crystally sort of things from an island off the side of Italy somewhere.
Wow, isn't that
and
beautiful?
She makes really nice necklaces and jewellery for women.
Oh, isn't that beautiful? And this one's...
Timber's such a wonderful product, medium to work with, and it's got into my blood. I just love working with timber. Gorgeous stuff.
Just love the smells in here. It's just got so many different timber smells.
One of the timbers here locally, Chris, and you know this. We've got a timber called camphor laurel.
Yeah.
And it's regarded as a noxious weed.
Yeah.
Well, it actually happens to make incredibly good guitars.
Yeah.
And I just happen to have a Telecaster blank here. These are some other local timbers, red cedar. But look at the colouring in that, eh?
Wow.
Beautiful.
Wow, and it's, wow, it is beautiful.
And there's a thing called tap tone.
It's got it.
It's got a really nice sharp tone.
Yeah.
So that's a camphor laurel. This one's a local Australian red cedar.
Oh, so they'd be light too, relatively.
Yes. A lot of guitarists, as they get older, grey hair, no hair, they complain about the weight of the guitars on the shoulder.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, righto. Well, anyway, and this is another timber. This is one of the lightest. This timber's called Polonia.
Oh, Polonia.
And this is incredibly light, but also beautiful tap tone.
Yeah.
And this instrument, hypothetically, if a normal Telecaster guitar, Fender Telecaster, weighed, say, 7 pounds, this would probably weigh 4.5.
Oh, okay.
Which is virtually nothing. And wonderful, wonderful, wonderful tap tone. And this one here's without the neck.
Cool.
That's a really nice sharp tone, that.
Yeah.
So
so these you obviously do you sell them like this, or?
yeah, I sell them in
you
kit
do?
form. I sell them. I sell necks pre-made, or the blanks to make a neck, or the blanks to make a body. We've got our own little bandsaw mill. I can't show it to you at the moment, it's not set up, but we've got our own little beautiful mobile bandsaw mill that just has only got a 1.5mm kerf, so the sawdust at the end of the day is a bucketful instead of a mountainful. Yeah. And it's one of the finest walkabout mills in the world.
Yep.
And so for 40 years we've been harvesting, salvaging timber and creating products. And the last few years I've spent a lot of energy going back to guitar making and instrument making.
Yeah.
I started doing that when I was 17, by the way, and I had quite a few years off. raising a family, setting up a property. But round here, this is a kid's thing. This is an old shipping pallet that I've pulled apart and made into a little trolley for kids to learn to walk with.
Cool.
And this is camphor laurel, and I just use a 4-inch hole saw, and then I put furniture wax on the shaft, and then I get motorcycle tube and I stretch it on, and so on a polished floor it won't skate, and so kids put their play blocks in there and they learn to walk behind it. This is featuring a natural dry bush stick, just organic and nice and smooth. And so we do kids' toys and parents' toys and all sorts of stuff.
Cool, Stan. I love this place. Yeah, and I just see all the craftsmanship and everything that you do, and your furniture. Blows me away. Oh, look at that beautiful bowl.
This is the local camphor laurel, just with a tiny little bit of child-friendly or people-friendly foods dyes.
Yeah.
And just spun on the lathe, and that's camphor laurel, what it looks like normally.
Oh, beautiful.
And this one here I just did a little bit of embellishment on, and beautiful timber. They've declared this a noxious weed in the Richmond Shire. And honestly, this is one of the finest. They call it a pest. When it's little tiny seedling from 5 millimetres diameter to 100 millimetres diameter, can absolutely choke out fence lines and destroy pasture.
Yeah.
But when or if you find a tree that's bigger, say 2 foot diameter, 600 and onwards, bigger, the timber is absolutely world class.
Oh.
It's world class timber.
Yeah.
And we've got it here growing wild.
Oh, and it loves it. It loves the climate here, doesn't it? And grows fast. Yeah.
Absolutely loves it. Yeah. Little kids' toys, buses and stuff.
Yeah.
Camphor laurel again.
Yeah.
It's a great timber. Vase, camphor laurel.
Ah.
A lady wanted a fence paling the one that fell off a fence, and I found a bit of timber, and I was about to cut into a fence paling, and man, I swear I wasn't on drugs, no alcohol, it was just only a cup of tea. Anyway, I was about to cut up, and I saw this crocodile.
In the wood.
Crocodile is Polish crocodile.
Yeah.
And the crocodile was just lurking inside the wood.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
There's no texture colour, no paint, that's all gum vein.
Yeah.
And just
Incredible.
and a tiniest amount of imagination.
It's very cool. Yep. It's worth $1 million, Stan.
He's a beauty, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a wonderful crocodile.
You wouldn't get that every day.
No, you don't, man. You don't. No, you don't. A lot of fun.